Greetings, sister. Are you ready to perform the ritual?
I suppose I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing, but...
Light the candles.
Okay, Yep, the candles are lit.
Prepare the incense.
I've lit the incense.
Now we must bring forth the offerings. First, the hair dye.
Okay, well there's one tub of blue and one tub of green.
Bring forth the selection of Legend of Zelda games.
Well, I've got pretty much everyone here. I don't have the CDI games, and Zelda 2's a bit hit and miss, but I hope that this is enough of them to work.
This should do fine, sister. Have you the Tentacles?
Oh, that I can do. That I can do. I was very excited about this part.
And the My Chemical Romance albums?
Had them on standby, ready to go.
Have you the glow sticks?
Indeed I do. Do you wish for them to be pre-broken and glowing, or not yet broken and glowing?
Not yet broken and glowing. I think the candles will do.
Okay.
Now, the ultimate chocolate cheesecake. Place it there in the middle.
There we go. It's being placed in the middle. What pray tell does this ritual do?
Come forth, O queer and pleasant strangers! Greetings, strangers, queer and pleasant. I'm not Laura Kate Dale.
And I'm not Jane Aerith Magnet.
And we've been summoned here from the depths of the netherworld somehow.
Indeed. We weren't going to do a podcast, and then, someone did a ritual, and now we are bound to this mortal plane of podcasting for eternity, or until someone dispels the summoning circle.
Yeah, hopefully someone will clear the circle by the end of the episode.
Well, hopefully so. I've got other podcasts in my life I need to record.
You're seeing other podcasts?
I've been seeing other podcasts since before this podcast began.
I mean, to be fair, I am also seeing other podcasts.
How has your week been, Jane?
Not bad. It was looking a bit ropey at the beginning there. I was a bit like... But now I'm feeling just a bit...
I've spent most of this week feeling pretty ill.
Yeah.
I've had a lingering thing for like 8 days.
I thought I had whatever it was you had, but I seem to be much better now.
You were like ill and back down in like a day.
I think it was the decision to have a really early night last night.
Yeah, that probably helped. It's helped me. I'm feeling better. I'm not gonna have to be like trying to do skits this week and going, can't do the voice. Probably.
Jane, carry the
Jane,
carry the animatronic actors off.
Yeah, carry this for me. My voice is dying. But I think I'm doing better this week.
We'll see when we get to Barry.
Yeah, we've had a nice fun week.
Mm-hmm.
We went and saw a friend for their birthday.
Yeah, we did some Laser Quest. I've not done Laser Quest in fucking decades.
Do we want to talk about Laser Quest and bowling in that first segment of the show? I
guess so. They are things we played. So,
yeah,
what have we played this week?
What have we played this week? Well, we went to a friend's birthday party and we played some Laser Quest, Laser Tag, Quasar, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what.
It was definitely Laser Quest brand Laser Quest.
Laser Quest brand Laser Quest, and we did some bowling, which are things neither of us have done in a while.
At least a decade in my case.
Yeah, no, I did a Laser Questy type thing once, like 2 years ago with my roller derby people, but it's not a thing I've done commonly in a long time.
I used to go to Laser Quest, or at least hang out at Laser Quest, pretty much every night between the ages of like 13 and 16.
Yeah.
So it's probably been about 2 decades since I
How
last did Laser Quest.
was it coming back to the world of lasers?
It was like they've barely changed the packs at all. They're just more transparent than they used to be.
So for anyone who's not aware of this concept, it's basically you have a gun. It shoots. It points a little laser pointer. If you can hit someone on the chest or the back or the gun or the shoulders, they lose some points and you gain some points, and it does a big vibrate and it flashes and everyone runs around a big room trying not to get shot. Everyone runs though. Like they say no run. My favourite thing was the instructional video was like no running, and then the guy who was running it was like
safety running.
No running, ... except like you can run, but if one of you gets hurt we then have to stop the running.
Yeah.
So everyone was doing some running, but
There's a little bit of safety running.
Yeah.
It's a light jog rather than a full-on.
it's not a full-on sprint. You're not going to like turn a corner and smash someone's face in with your gun
I
accidentally.
did run into a wall at one point.
I did watch you run into a
That's
wall.
because you were chasing me. That's why you watched.
You were in our side of the base and you tried to run away.
There were no sides to the base. It was a free arena.
Your team were very much
encroaching on your territory.
Staying in one side and we were basing ourselves in another. We definitely had sides emerged.
I don't know what the rest of my team were up to. I was trying to get around as much as possible. Make sure you were harried wherever you were.
Oh no, your
Flanked.
team were like hunkered on the other side of the base and not really moving.
Oh yeah, I was paying no attention to any of that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I always forget how fun Laser Quest can be.
Yeah, we did good. And like Birthday Boy came first. I came second. You came third. Overall score, but your team won. So
my team won, and also I didn't start until like 2 or 3 minutes in. So I think coming third, I think I did all right.
I think you did, especially when you consider the fact that somebody. Also, I think the other reason you won is that somebody on our team, their gun wasn't working and they didn't know.
Yeah, that may have helped.
The
but,
average score between the top three was like 650, 630. And she scored 65.
Well, it's all right. It's all right. We had a really good time.
We have. Yeah.
Then we did some bowling.
We did some bowling.
I do not bowl well.
I do not bowl well either.
The first round of 10 we played, I had more gutter balls than times that I hit any of the pins.
Practice makes pervert.
Indeed. I got better. I did better on the second game.
Mm-hmm.
My whole side hurts, and I don't know if that's because I'm not used to throwing a big heavy ball.
Yeah, I've not had to sling balls around for a while.
Oh no, it's been a while since we've slung around some balls.
Indeed. Yeah, I had the same problem. Like, my butt hurt on my left-hand side for like a couple of days after that, and I was like, what the hell has that done? It's only one side. And then since you got it as well, I was like, maybe it was the bowling.
Yeah, because I went out dancing at the weekend and I'd assumed it was that, but considering that you had it as well, I was like, oh, it's bowling. We're getting too old to bowl.
Too old and our bodies are not used to those things. All that muscle wastage and bones hollowing themselves out.
Yeah. But, with that out the way, what else did you play this week, Jane?
I played some of that Yoshi's Crafted World. We played together.
We played a bit together, so we both played through the eShop demo that was made available after the Nintendo Direct last week, and then I played a couple of other levels at Nintendo's offices. So do you want to talk about your thoughts first?
It's very pretty and cute and adorable, and I like the built nature of the world. Like, it's all sort of upcycled bits of cardboard and Coke cans and things.
It's all so cute, isn't it?
Yeah.
They've really done a great job of selling the tangibility of the world. And I believe that this is made of like straws and recycled biscuit boxes.
Yeah, it's one thing Nintendo have been doing really well, I've noticed, with like Mario Party as well. Their textures are really spot on.
That's the thing. Nintendo's always been really good at like level of visual polish where even though their games tend to be like lower resolution than their competitors, they put a lot of detail into the texture work so that, like, they have really interesting art styles that make you forget that it's a graphically less technical game.
Yeah. And I think that does them really well. And I think Yoshi's Crafted World really plays that very well. And I loved, like, just the idea that you could technically build all of these levels yourself IRL.
Yeah, like, there's a few of them that I saw, and there was some really interesting ideas. So skipping ahead a little bit to the levels I played at Nintendo, there was one that was set in sort of like a ninja fortress, and the way they did bamboo was they had green straws that they'd sort of cut open slightly and peeled down so that they looked like bamboo. I was like, it's really interesting crafty ideas. Like, they were throwing shuriken stars that were just folded up paper.
I know how to make those.
Yeah. They were throwing those for their shuriken. It's just a really adorable little world.
Yeah, I would like to see more of that. And lots of fun riding each other around.
Yeah, we played in co-op and...
Yeah, and just getting used to the controls a bit. And Yoshi's little high jumps.
It's got some of the same problems I always have with Yoshi games. I feel like considering you need to collect eggs to be able to fire projectiles, and particularly considering this game is so intent on you finding things hidden in the environment, I found I either had not enough eggs, or for 2 players having all of the, like, having full eggs, there was a bit too much going on.
The only other thing that I found annoying with the eggs was the fact that when you jump on the other player, even by accident, you lose all your eggs.
Yes, so there's a few things that I'm not super keen on, but I don't think any of them would be enough to dissuade me from enjoying this game.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. I played a couple of additional levels at Nintendo's offices, and a couple of things. So, you know that going backwards through the level, seeing the back of all the textures, trying to find...
Doggos.
Yeah, the little baby doggos. That's the structure of every one of those reverse levels. Which, I'll see if that gets boring or not, or whether that stays interesting.
The thing with that was they didn't tell us what the time limit was.
Yeah, there was a time limit to get a bonus reward, but they didn't tell you up front. There was just a timer ticking.
And then at the end it's like, if you did it within this time, you would have got a thing. Oh, thanks, game.
There's a few things where this game, like, maybe expects you to play levels that aren't particularly difficult more than once to get 100%. Like, there was one level I played at Nintendo where 3/4 of the way through the level, there was a somewhat difficult challenge, and if you fail to do it on your first attempt, you can't do it again until you restart the level. So it's like, if you want 100% this level, you're going to have to play the first 3/4 of this level
a lot,
several times until you beat that bit of challenge. I'm like, I'm not so keen on that. But the design is really good. Some of the later levels had really interesting world design that made really good use of the sort of 3D diorama with layers to it aspect of things. And the only other thing I want to say is I did play a level where you get to ride on a big doggo, and you know how normally when you ride on an animal in like when Mario rides Yoshi, you're sort of locked onto Yoshi's back, and rather like the way you would move if you're Mario on Yoshi's back is you put the analog stick to the left and Yoshi will run to the left. It feels like you're controlling the person whose feet are on the floor.
Yes,
that's not how this game does it.
Right.
Yoshi jumps on Poochie's back, and then when you try and, like, change direction, Yoshi still walks. He walks slightly in that direction on Poochie's back, and then Poochie changes direction. Makes it really easy to accidentally fall off. And I don't know if that's a deliberate design decision, because, like... Because when you jump on another Yoshi's back in co-op, you do lock in place. So I can't entirely nail down why that's a thing, and I'm curious... My worry right now is, this game's trying to do a lot of things, and is it maybe not going to be spectacular at all of the assorted things it throws at you? I hope that's not the case, and I might be worrying too early, but it's just a thing that I'm like, this is the first time you threw me a mechanic that isn't your core movement set for Yoshi, and something just didn't feel right about it.
Yeah.
And I'm cautiously keeping an eye on that.
Okay.
But, yeah, it's a very cute game. I would highly recommend people check out that eShop demo. It's fairly easy, but I can say that levels do get more difficult. I've played more difficult levels of it. Yeah.
Yeah. The only other thing I've had a chance to play this week was Tetris 99.
Yeah, I've played some of that as well.
I know.
Yeah.
How are you digging it?
Oh, I'm really digging that game. Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, Tetris 99 is a Tetris Battle Royale. You and 98 other people play Tetris, and it's the last Tetris player standing wins. And it's quite fun, isn't it? It's not bad for a free game.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's Tetris, yay. It's free Tetris, yay. It's a Battle Royale, well, they're popular right now.
Yeah.
And it's a Battle Royale that hasn't just been rushed out, or maybe it has, but even if it's been rushed out, it's still damn good.
Yeah, so there's a few things I kind of like about it compared to other Battle Royales. I like that there's nowhere to hide. That you just have to kind of get on and play the game.
Yeah.
Too often when I play things like Fortnite, I will be like, find a good gun, hide in a spot, run between hiding spots, and try not to die.
Yeah.
Whereas here, it's like you can constantly see, target, and be targeted by anyone. You have to just get good at it.
Get good.
Yeah, you gotta get good. I really like it. I've been quite enjoying now that I understand some of the mechanics of how you attack other players a bit better. Because your options are, you can either select players to attack manually, or you can target whoever's closest to getting knocked out. Who is probably the best player that you want to maybe eliminate before you get to the end? And do you want to attack the people who are attacking you so that you can sort of defend yourself and get some breathing room? It's a really interesting setup to it.
Yeah, and you're doing really well because you came second in your one of your first few games.
One of my games I managed to get second. I've not won a round yet. Fairly consistently I can get to the top 10, and that's where it all starts to fall apart for me, but
I've not had as much time with it, but it's more Tetris.
Yeah.
It's a very different style of play to playing solo or even sort of two-player.
You need to sometimes deliberately save line clears ready, because if you can do, say, a Tetris, it'll prevent incoming damage coming into you. So you need to sometimes deliberately not go for those.
You need at least 2 line clears to sort of clear out some of that garbage, or to throw garbage to somewhere else.
And you realistically don't want to be going above halfway up the screen, because garbage can add up really quickly, and if you can't get down to where it is and start clearing it out, you're going to get fucked over really quick.
Real fucking...
Yeah. You need to be within a few Tetris blocks of getting back down to the bottom, just for your own safety if someone targets you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a real fun one. Thank you. More of this, Nintendo. Give us it's a free game for people who have their online subscription. This feels like better value than giving us NES ROMs that you've already sold us multiple times.
Yeah.
I would be very excited to see Nintendo do more things like this, where they go to companies and go, we'll give you some money, just make us a small thing that can be for free for people who have this service. You played anything else?
That is basically it. I mean, I played a bit more Saints Row 3, but I think I covered all of my thoughts on that really last week.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to find another open world game.
I played one other thing this week. I started playing the demo on Switch for a game called Demon Ex Machina, which is that sort of mech fly game that has been in the last couple of Nintendo Directs.
Yeah.
I'm not so sold on it.
No.
Maybe it's just a poor demo. The demo doesn't explain things terribly well. It's kind of a slower paced mech game than I was expecting from some of the trailers. Everything feels very weighty. It feels like your attacks do a lot of damage. It's got a nice level of customization both for your pilot and for your mech, both visually and in terms of ways you can upgrade them, ways you can choose to load out. Do you want a shield, or do you want a sword, or do you want a big gun, or do you want an arm missile cannon? Lots of nice stuff like that. It controls a little unintuitively. It took me a bit to get used to it. You hold down B to rise your mech up, but if you stop pressing that, it will slowly start to come back down again. Or you click in the left stick to fly down. It works. It's just it wasn't intuitive. The thing that put me off this demo, and it's probably just a problem with the demo, is your mech can be destroyed in combat. And that's not the end of combat. You can end up just your mech pilot with your weapons on the ground. And I was like, okay, well, it's not giving me a game over when my mech's destroyed, so clearly I can do something. So I tried, shooting at the mechs with my gun. Seemed pretty ineffective. Tried to, can I repair my mech? Couldn't seem to. Tried finding other fallen mechs on the battlefield and going, can I get in a different mech? Nope. I just couldn't work out what I was supposed to do once my mech was destroyed and I was stuck on the ground.
Spectator mode, maybe?
Maybe. But it's a single-player game, though.
Oh, okay.
So, maybe it was just the game not giving me clear instructions on what to do, but I tried, I got to the 3rd of 4 levels in the demo, and I'd been... it was a little slower than I'd expected. It was a little cumbersome, but I had been really enjoying it. And this happened 2-3 times on attempting this same level. I would get, a good chunk of the way in, accidentally have my mech destroyed, and be unsure how to continue and have to restart the level, and I gave up on it at that point, because I was like... I tried doing some cursory Google searches, couldn't find anyone who had the same problem who could explain the answer to me. At some point I might just tweet and go, hey, Twitter, does anyone know what I do? And maybe I will get back into it, but when you've got a 4-level demo and the 3rd level I get confused about how to progress and can't work it out, I'm like, this is not a great start for me learning a game. Like, that seems like a fairly core mechanic. Your mecha's been destroyed, you are now on foot, that you should probably explain to the player.
I feel like we need a new Zone of the Enders.
Yeah, we do. We need to play that remaster on the PS4 at some point.
I didn't realise they'd remastered it.
They have. It's got VR support.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think that's everything I've played this week.
That's everything we've played, yeah.
Well, time for this.
Ooh. Well, howdy! Come on down to Billy Bob and Joel Bob's Cat Cafe!
We corral all the wildest kitty cats around town and bring them together in one hot spot.
That's right, you can come on down, get yourself a nice old tin of beans and stroke some kitties.
However, the most important rule of the West, don't disturb the kitties if they're trying to take a nap.
That's right, if you see a cat doing a sleep, don't you go trying to pet it now.
Indeed, come down to 104 Big City Avenue to meet all of our kitty cats.
With Billy Bob and Jim Bob, we got all the kitty cats for all your kitty cat needs.
Hello, and welcome back to our programme. Now, you may have seen our adverts all around the internet. We've got that one good health trick that experts don't want you to know coming up right now.
That's right. This week we have a very, very important health tip. This is the secret health tip that anti-vax mums don't want you to know.
Get well in just a few easy steps.
Right, okay. Here's the thing. First step, go to the doctor.
Step 2, get your vaccine.
Step 3, take your medicine.
This one silly trick will have anti-vax mums everywhere screaming.
But also, you won't be dying of preventable diseases.
Indeed. Just take your meds. Just take your meds. That's the secret.
Herd immunity, people.
Only works if we do this one silly trick.
Only if we work like an actual herd. Moo. So, what have you watched?
Oh, I watched a thing with you this week.
We watched the Nintendo Direct.
We did watch the Nintendo Direct. I thought that was a pretty good Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, I was excited. There was things on there. I was like, yeah, I want to play that. I want to play that. I want that.
Yeah, they were like, they opened with Mario Maker 2, where I was like, yep, I enjoyed the first one. I will take more Mario Maker on the Switch.
I hear it has ramps now.
It's got ramps now. They closed with Link's Awakening, getting a Switch port, which I've seen some people not into that art style, but I think it looks really fucking cute.
It kind of reminds me of like Minish Cap.
It's Minish Cap, but almost a little claymation-ish.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't look like claymation, but you know what I mean? It's got that feel of claymation.
That, yeah, something. There's something in that sort of, like, it's almost crafted, like, even going back to Woolly World. Yeah. Maybe this is Nintendo's thing now. We're going to make stuff look like it's made of other
Everything
stuff.
looks like it's dioramas.
Yeah.
So we had that. In the middle there was Fire Emblem. You're apparently teacher at Fire Emblem school.
People seem to like those games.
I'll maybe try it. I'm not super sold. I was really into that trailer for Astral Chain, which was that Platinum Games thing with like the laser dog and everything was connected by chains and it was all in a futuristic world. That looked very cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that as someone who enjoys a good Platinum action game.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else was revealed in there, because that's where we got the Yoshi demo and Tetris 99.
Mm-hmm. Well, we got Dragon Quest Builders 2.
Oh yeah, that's got a release date, which is sometime in the summer.
Dragon Quest Builders 11S. Echoes of an Elusive Age.
Yes, Dragon Quest the big one.
Yeah, it looks pretty.
Yeah,
I've never played a mainstream
Dragon Quest.
So maybe that thing.
Final Fantasy IX is out now. I downloaded that. I will get around to playing that at some point.
Assassin's Creed 3 remastered.
I enjoyed Assassin's Creed 3. I know it's not a popular opinion, but I enjoyed it.
One that I was watching chat go absolutely insane at. Like people. one I was watching chat just get really rude about was Disney Sim Festival.
Yeah, don't get rude about that. It looks adorable.
They were like, nobody knows this is Rubbish Rat. What? Because there's no guns in it. It looks really cute. I'd play that.
Yeah, if the price is right, I'll some.
If it's not stupidly expensive.
Yeah, like.
I mean, I know they're going to stick Disney branding on it, so it could potentially be really expensive. I mean, that's apparently coming out at like $40, so whatever the UK equivalent is.
Yeah. It was a nice old direct, that one.
Yeah.
We got some dates and announcements. We got some reveals.
Yeah.
Nintendo were really good at this whole. Here is just out of nowhere 30 minutes of getting you hype.
Yeah. Get hype up.
Get hype. We also watched another thing together.
We did.
We have been watching season 2 of Preacher.
Yeah.
That show takes a turn in its second season,
doesn't it? We finally got into bits I haven't seen before. So.
Yeah, So the end of season 1 of Preacher is basically, hey, God's gone missing. Let's go look for God. And some of the answers they find on their search to find where God is are
interesting.
Yeah. There are people you meet and go, you're
a character.
That's who you are, And other characters. There was a thing in season 2 of Preacher. I fucking called it.
Yeah, that was the thing that you called.
I did call the thing. I was very proud that I called it, but I'm really enjoying it. It's a very different pace of season.
Yes. Not everybody in it is entirely hateful.
Yeah.
But obviously there's still a lot of very bad people.
Yeah, there's a lot of very bad people in that show. I'm glad that we get to find out what has happened to certain characters that were left in mysterious circumstances in season 1.
Yeah.
We get a bit of insight into what's going on with them.
Yeah, I mean there are some things to be concerned about.
Yeah.
Obviously I don't want to give spoilers. There are things like I want to know where that story ends. Because as it is, it feels like they're trying to make somebody who is well known for being very, 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 very evil.
Perhaps the epitome of evil.
The epitome of evil.
You know, if you think of evil, this might be who you're thinking of.
It feels like that at times they are trying to give them nuance, and they don't deserve nuance.
Well, I'm hoping that what hidden.
I mean, the thing is, we haven't watched the series. And I haven't read the comic book that it's based on, so I don't know where they're going with that.
Well, it's interesting, I suppose, to posit the question: can literal hell redeem even the unredeemable?
I don't even know if that's the question that
I don't know.
Because I have a feeling that there is more to that, and that we're gonna find out.
I'm cautiously watching that plotline because I don't want it to be too. I don't want them to be...
What if that person isn't that bad after all?
Yeah, I don't want them
that
to
would
what
be a
if they're
problem.
not that bad, this particular person. Yeah, I'm still very much enjoying that show.
I think Pip Torrens does just... big Dom energy there.
Oh,
from
the biggest Dom energy until he is no longer the biggest Dom energy in the room.
He does like... I can't think of other things I've seen him in, but I'm sure I have seen him in other things.
Same.
And he just does, like, slightly terrifying in a really quiet way.
Yeah, like...
really well.
It's like, he's not shouting and screaming, it's just... You better do what I say or there will be consequences.
Yeah, you have a feeling that if he was chasing after you, he wouldn't be running. He would just do that really slow executioner's walk with, just a slight bemused frown.
Yeah, that's a character he plays, huh?
Yeah, and the whole story of like his rise to power it's done across one episode, and it's like, oh, that's a really interesting character.
Yeah, no, that like 20-minute section where they build up this villainous-ish person's character, I'm like, oh no, you totally justified everything and made me understand this character.
Yeah, I mean, you've certainly painted a picture right there.
Yes.
I want to know more about who this is and what's going on.
I want to understand their deal. But yes, we're going to continue watching Preacher, because Preacher's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a fascinating series.
Have you watched anything else this week?
Have I watched anything else? Well, that is the question, isn't it? I'm trying to think. I don't think I have.
Oh, well, I've got a couple of things I've watched, if you haven't got any more watched.
What do you got?
Okay, so, I've talked about this show a little bit on this show before, The Dragon Prince.
Oh, yes.
I really enjoyed the first season of that. It's made by the writer of Avatar The Last Airbender.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell it's by the same writer. It's got a very similar... Imagine, like, season 2 of Avatar, where they've gotten to the point where their serious versus silly pacing and balance is a little better. Season 2 of that show is spectacular, and I'm right now at the point where I'm like, I've not seen all of The Dragon Prince, but it's on track. It could be better than Avatar The Last Airbender. I would say its first season is undeniably better. It does a much better job of layering in enough of the serious in early episodes as to not turn off adults that look at it and go, oh, it's just a flavour of the week kids show. And it's, while season 1 is a lot of world building, season 2 does some really interesting stuff with fleshing out its characters, fleshing out the lore of the world, progressing its narrative. It's real interesting. I have a bunch of notes I made in our group chat because there are things I wanna mention. First of all, there is a character in this show that I'm sure whoever wrote them has probably done psychedelics at some point, because they say the sentence, "I've got some real mind-melting illusions. They'll really freak your bean." Like,
that sounds like a McElroy quote.
That does sound like a McElroy quote. There's a lot of stuff in this second season that, not so much it feels obnoxious, but there's a couple of times where I'm like, oh, you know that memes exist. They're trying to walk to another land at some point, and someone says, one does not simply walk to insert land. So, I really like, I've talked about this before, I really like that there's a character in The Dragon Prince who uses American Sign Language as their primary method of communication. They can lip read, but they speak in ASL. There's a really nice little moment in this season that showed off... I really liked it because it showed off ASL as something actively useful rather than something done because a person needs to do it. Someone was being held hostage, and they very subtly did ASL to someone to signal, like, I'm being coerced, like, help, and got them out of a situation. I really liked seeing sort of characters who are not the deaf character using ASL and making use of it in interesting ways. I really like how the monarchy in this show is presented. I'm not usually a fan of monarchy as a concept, but when you've got a king doing speeches about, like, hey, he's basically like, the way I should rule this land is a fair system should be fair no matter the accident of my birth. He's very much a ruler that's of the opinion of, like, I was lucky to be born a king. Put myself in the shoes of someone else. If I'd been born dirt poor, would I think that I was running this kingdom fairly? Yeah, it's just a really nice, down-to-earth, like, no toxic masculinity-ish ruler. We get some really interesting discussions from him about concerns step-parents often have about overstepping boundaries and wanting to show that they are to their kids that their kids are loved and are, like, truly seen as one of their kids, but without overstepping a line and seeming like you're trying to erase their biological parents from being a thing. There is a young female queen who is, like, the most competent person of all the rulers of the land, and it's really satisfying to watch old white men try and talk down to her, and she's just like, nope. No, fuck you. You're doing some flattering, but I'm not, like... I am an actual sensible ruler, and I'm not going to be won over by your fucking smart
Pretty
talk.
words, yeah.
Yeah, just... That show continues to be super, super interesting, and I can't say good enough things about it. Like, if you enjoyed any of Avatar, this is a must-watch. Like, it's up there with Avatar The Last Airbender. In some ways, it's surpassing it right now. And the only other thing I started watching is I'm about 2 episodes deep into The Umbrella Academy on Netflix.
Spoilers.
What's that?
No spoilers.
No spoilers. No, no spoilers at all. So, The Umbrella Academy was a comic book series that was written by Gerard Way, off of that My Chemical Romance. That band what I like quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And the comic series, like, is really good. I've read the comics before, big fan of them. They are very well received. I think the first one got an Eisner Award. The basic premise, and I'm just talking basic premise stuff, one day, spontaneously, I think it's 47 women just give birth. And none of them had been pregnant that morning. They just suddenly are pregnant and give birth. And this eccentric billionaire goes, this is fucking weird. I want those kids. So he tries to round up as many of these weird, spontaneous, immaculate conceptions as he can. He gets 7 of them.
Right.
And some of them have superpowers. So he basically trains them up to be a superhero team that he calls the Umbrella Academy.
Oh.
There are 7 of them. Some of the basic power stuff going on is one of them can speak to the dead. One can teleport. I'm trying to think. The most interesting one is there's one who is very much like Preacher, actually. If she says a thing, she'll say, I heard a rumour, and then say something, and that thing will happen.
Okay.
But it's not restricted to things that the person could do. Like, you could tell someone, I heard a rumour that your head's about to explode, and their head would explode.
Wow.
So, like, it's very, very powerful, that particular power.
And do we find out what happened to all the other immaculate children?
Not yet where I'm up to. So, things I'm currently thinking about this show. Very well acted. Its pacing is very nice. It's definitely a bit of a slower build than the comics were.
Okay.
And they've definitely not gone out of their way to try and make the cast look like their comic book counterparts.
Okay.
The comic had a very, very stylized look to it. The art was done by Gabrielle Barr. And they've not tried to go for the over-the-top, not realistic comic book designs. They've very much just gone, this is a realistic human approximation of what that person would look like.
Yeah.
But so far I've been really happy with it. They've treated the source material really well.
Mm-hmm.
Very well acted. Ellen Page is in it, and she's fucking great. Love Ellen Page. The soundtrack is stunning. Like, you can tell that someone who was in a band for a decade was, like, at the forefront of this and was like, no, we're having a fucking good soundtrack. It's not one of those things like, say, Suicide Squad, where the soundtrack feels like it's there to hide the fact that it's a bad thing. It's just got really good music. And, yeah, I'm only a couple of episodes in, but the big overarching mystery that needs to be solved has been set up, and it's very, very interesting. They have a very tight time limit of, the world's going to end in 8 days, and we don't know how. Got to deal with that.
What do?
I am really enjoying it. I'm always skeptical of adaptations of things that I really enjoyed, and I feel very similarly about this 2 episodes in out of, I think, 10, as how I felt about a series of Unfortunate Events.
Yeah.
In that it's like, this isn't necessarily a one-for-one remake of the source material, but it feels incredibly faithful to what the source material was trying to do and the stories it was trying to get across. Mm-hmm. So I'm very happy with this, and I'm enjoying it so much that as and when you are ready to get round to it, I will totally rewatch it with you, because is good.
I was thinking I might start on Friday because I'm off.
Well, in that case, I might come and do some work downstairs while you're watching and watch it along with you.
Whoa.
I think that's everything I've watched.
Well then, time for this. Laura, we've got a new sponsor!
Who's our new sponsor?
This week's sponsor,
This
week's sponsor is Speedy Hirer.
Speedy Hirer? Tell me about this service.
Do you need to hire someone who is right for the job right now?
I need someone just right now.
Right here, right now?
Right now. Right here, right now. Right here, right now. That is the most important thing.
Well, they will send to you the closest person to you to do the job. Regardless of their qualifications, they guarantee they will get you somewhere super fast.
So if I need my light fitting fixed, you'll have someone there straight away.
Absolutely.
They
Hello, I'm here to change your light fitting.
Do you know anything about changing light fittings?
Absolutely not, but Speedy Hire sent me because I was the nearest person.
Well, maybe if we bash our heads together, we can figure it out.
Okay, that's right. Ow!
So, if you need a person right the heck now, go to speedyhirer.com
and enter the code Q&PS55.
Oh goodness, 55 already.
55 codes.
To get your first 3 people that you hire that don't know how to do your job, we're not going to charge you for them.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that is speedyhirer.com. Enter the code Q&PS55 and just get somebody nearby to do something.
Yeah.
Hopefully they
They'll
can
work
do
it out.
Yeah.
If they mess it up, you didn't mess it up.
Yeah. Inside the boardroom of Electronic Actors Softworks.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing? I hear the profit reports came in this week.
Yep, the profit reports are in. I cannot wait to tell you just how much money we've made. We have made absolutely record profits.
Oh my goodness, more money than ever.
Absolutely. We are up 30% on what we even estimated we were going to make.
Oh goodness. So
and the year isn't even over yet.
My goodness. So are we gonna celebrate somehow?
Absolutely. You know how we really like making the devs miserable? We flog them, we hit them with sticks. Sometimes we, just indiscriminately just throw them out of a window.
Exactly. Like that one meme.
Yeah, and then, don't forget, we also make them live in fear constantly for their jobs.
Yeah, so how's this play into our celebration?
Well, to celebrate the fact that we have made so much money, it is only February, and we've already made 30% more than we were expecting to for the entire year. To celebrate that, we've sacked all of the devs.
You sacked all of the devs?
All of the devs.
So who's gonna make the games that make us the money?
We've already made like 30% more than we could. So what I propose is, now that we've made everyone miserable, we'll buy a bunch of really small studios and we'll get them to do things that are way out of their remit.
Interesting. See, I'm liking your thinking because I've just had a brainwave, and I don't know if this occurred to you.
Sure.
We fire all the staff.
Yeah.
We don't have to pay the staff.
No.
That's less money going out.
Yeah.
Which means more profit in.
Right?
Yeah. No, it needs people making the games when we're not having to pay them to make the game.
Absolutely. I mean, we've been flogging them so hard recently. We actually have like a whole bunch of content that's like ready to go out but hasn't gone out yet. So we can just like keep drip feeding that. Apparently there's like a button I just press on my phone and it just drips out the next bit of crap.
And like, here's the thing. If we do find, at some point in the future that we need people making games in our game development studio, just hire a bunch of new people fresh out of university. It'll be fun.
Right, yeah. We can take them on as interns, so we don't even have to pay them.
Exactly, you don't have to pay them anything for like the first year.
And we still get to flog them.
Exactly. You, sir, are a fucking genius.
I know. So, what have you inserted into your ear holes by the medium of vibrational sound?
Very little. I think you've got a lot more on your list than I do on mine.
Well, we listened to some things together.
Should we?
I was going to say, should we do the things that you've listened to first?
I'll listen to the one thing that I have on my... Oh, two? What? Oh, yes, I do have a second one.
You had a second thing.
Aha. So, I'll do my first one. I went out dancing at the weekend. I made a new friend, and that new friend turned me onto a track that I quite enjoyed today.
I turned you on.
Okay. Tove Lo, Tovelo, Habits, brackets, Stay High, Hippie Sabotage remix.
Sounds like my kind of jam.
It's got a nice sort of chill beat dance track with a fairly distant femme vocal line. It's got a really nice sort of punchy sway to it. Eventually kicks in with a really strong beat that's slightly rocky. It's a really cool track.
Cool.
I enjoyed it a lot. So the other one I wanted to highlight this week was a track by an artist called Dessa, who I've mentioned before. I really enjoyed their first album. Mm-hmm. And one of the tracks on that album is called Fire Drills. And it's a track that I hadn't really realised how much I liked until this week. It's a really powerful track about how women deserve better than having to live their life afraid of being attacked, and that we as women shouldn't have to live our life mentally running fire drills. Like, having it drilled into your head that, like, if you get attacked, it's your fault because X, Y, and Z, and you need to be prepared and you need to be on, like, the lookout in case things go wrong. So, I just wanted to pull some of the lyrics up from this because I think they're just really interesting. As a woman, always something left to take, so you shouldn't try to stay out too late or talk to strangers. Look too long, go too far out of range, because angels can't watch everybody all the time. Stay close, hems low, safe inside. The formula works if you can live it, but it works by pulling half the world off limits. Those lyrics aren't pulling punches, huh?
Heck no.
Yeah, we don't say go out and be brave. Nah, we say be careful, be safe. In any given instance, that don't hurt, but it sinks in like stilettos in soft earth. Like another big win is not a day without an accident. I beg to differ with it. I think a woman's worth. I think that she deserves a better line of work than motherfucking vigilance.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really good defiant track about how women deserve better than to have to constantly be watching out for people, and that we put the onus on women to stay safe rather than on men not to attack.
Yeah, indeed.
So that's
victim blaming.
Yeah, don't victim blame. Go listen to Dessa Fire Drills. It's a fucking banger of a track.
Mm-hmm.
Right, should we go into some of the stuff that we've listened to together?
Yeah, we had a nice pampering day or pampering evening on Friday night.
Yeah, we did hair removal and face masks and whatnot. We did a nice night.
Yeah, we had hair, face masks and foot masks, and it was lovely. Very, very chill. So I fancied a bit of emo.
You fancied a bit of emo, did you?
Fancied a bit of emo, so I went onto YouTube and just stuck in best emo songs and found myself a little mix.
You did indeed find a mix that like hit a lot of my nostalgia.
We're basically just gonna. I'm just gonna rattle through these, and you can comment on the ones you recognise. A lot of these I hadn't heard before, but they were very much in your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Papa Roach, Scars.
Yeah, I know that well. Very angry.
My Chemical Romance, I'm Not Okay, I Promise.
Oh, I never heard of that one.
It's not like I've listened to that one and repeat like forever. Breaking Benjamin, The Diary of Jane.
Yeah, so. I was aware of it, was never really my thing.
Yellow Card, Only One.
That was never the Yellow Card track I was most into, but I did like the band Yellow Card.
Green Day, Boulevard of Broken Dreams.
Green Day are fantastic, and that's just made me think of another Green Day track I really enjoy. I love Jesus of Suburbia.
Mm-hmm.
That's a proper good 10 minutes of prog rock.
I like the Dean Gray version of Jesus of Suburbia on the American Edit track, which I mentioned on here before.
Yeah.
Seether, Broken, featuring Amy Lee. That there Amy Lee is better when she's not like stuck in with a man having to do rap because the record label think that needs to happen to sell her records. We'll come to them in a second.
Oh, we will. We'll get there.
The Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, Face Down.
I saw them play live once. They make quite a good live show.
I've never heard of them before.
No, I must have been like 12, 13 years ago. I went and saw them in Southampton. They were quite good. I had a good night out.
Evanescence.
Evanescence.
Evanescence, Bring Me to Life.
If you ever have a chance, go listen to the version of that album that Amy Lee put out that doesn't have the man rapping over it.
The original version. The intended version.
The intended version. Basically, a lot of Evanescence's tracks sound a lot better when you don't have like the record label going, we've got to have a man just shouting words.
We need some dick on this album.
Otherwise it'll be too girly and the men won't like you. You've got to stick the man going, wake me up.
We need some angst.
Wake up.
We need some angst. Get more angst in here.
It was just like female angst.
Yeah, but it has to be man angst. Apparently.
What else we got?
Sum 41 with me.
Gotta love some Sum 41.
Good Charlotte, The River, featuring M Shadows and Sinister Gates.
I did enjoy Good Charlotte. This was never a track that particularly got me.
Blink 182, I Miss You.
I miss you, I miss you. Where are you?
Crossfade, Cold.
Yeah.
Dashboard Confessional, Vindicated.
I'm vindicated. Oh, okay, yeah. Just that one line of that song is stuck in my head.
Avril Lavigne, Losing Grip.
Oh my god, I've just realised why that song's been in my head recently, the Vindicated one.
Yeah?
There's a Vine where someone like bounces on a trampoline and it's a bunch of dildos fly up with him and Vindicated is playing in the background.
AFI, Miss Murder.
If I were like, again, kind of angry.
More acronyms. POD, Alive.
It Ain't No Youth of the Nation, the only song that my church was like, that's a popular musician who is Christian. They did a song. Go listen to Youth of the Nation.
Is that We Are the Youth of the Nation?
Yeah.
I only know because of Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah, it's a really depressing song. It's a really depressing song about people whose, like, lives don't go the way they planned and school shootings and...
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you fancy another one that's really depressing?
Go
that
on.
One Linkin Park track I like.
Oh, yeah. I like some Linkin Park.
I listened to that track again on repeat for quite a considerable amount of my 20s.
I remember that I learnt to listen to Linkin Park off of a shared set of headphones with my brother on a holiday to Switzerland, and I remember memorising the intro to one of their songs, and I don't remember the very beginning, but I remember that the opening rap goes, the sun don't give the light to the moon, assuming the moon's gonna owe it one. Makes me think of how you act with me. You do favours, then rapidly you just turn around and start asking me for things that you want back from me.
I think it begins with an M. You brought it up on this show before.
Yeah, I'm sick of the tension, sick of the heartache.
Somebody mentioned in the comments what the song was.
Yeah, something like that. We've talked about it on here before, but that's what I think of when I think Linkin Park. And that one song that has an anime music video, Breaking the Habit, I think it was.
I think that was off the same album as Numb Meteora that
had
the anime front cover.
Yeah.
Simple Plan, perfect.
Yeah, Simple Plan was just like sad emo rock. It was just, I want you to love me. There's a lot of that.
Fall Out Boy, Sugar. Yeah. Hawthorne Heights, Ohio is for lovers.
In hindsight, Hawthorne Heights, very fucking depressing band.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah.
No. In hindsight, cut my wrists and black my eyes so I can fall asleep tonight. It's a little dark.
I think 182 Adam's song.
That's
about the drummer, right?
Yeah, the bandmate who wrote a song basically about, like, it's quite sad going home after tour and all your bandmates are going home to their families and you're going home alone to just kind of emotionally crash after the high of being on tour. It's quite a track.
Queens of the Stone Age, No One Knows.
Yeah, Queens of the Stone Age are always good, just some good rock.
It's a classic.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Panic dans le Disco. I write Sins Not Tragedies.
I have to thank that band for getting me into the concept of rock music with a bit of a dancey beat.
Good Charlotte, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
Probably the first song I can remember listening to with an anti-capitalist message.
Also Good Charlotte, Girls and Boys.
Yeah, that... It's very weird that they equally did a song about, like, anti-capital... Well, I suppose. And then just being like, no, women as a gender like cars and money.
Oh, is that one?
Yeah.
Girls don't like boys, girls like girls and NBs.
I prefer your version because, yeah, the original song, like, it's catchy as hell, but it's, like, it's one big stereotype.
Bad Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Green Day, Holiday.
Green Day continued to be good.
Good Charlotte, the anthem.
This is the
Whoever
anthem.
compiled this really likes Good Charlotte.
Yeah, this is the anthem. Throw all your hands up, you. Don't want to be just like you.
Blink 182, all the small things.
You can't truth brings.
Let me rouse his mind.
The brother let me know she cares. I love that band. Don't take my impression as not enjoying them. I love them, and I love making that nasally voice while I sing them.
I don't know what I was doing with that noise. 3 Days Grace, just like you.
Yeah, three Days Grace were another of those bands that were just like, they were a bit angry all the time at everything.
And then they did Home, apparently.
Yeah.
Done a thing. Flob, Fall Out Boy, Dance Dance.
Dance Dance, yeah, it's another... I'm now realising that quite a lot of the sort of pop-punky stuff I liked in my teens was ultimately rock music with a bit of dance influence in it. Yeah.
Lit, My Own Worst Enemy.
I don't remember that.
Apparently we listened to all of it.
Well,
Come on, it was in Guitar Hero.
oh, yeah.
Fat Lip, Sum 41.
Yes.
Blink-182, The Rock Show.
Girl at the rock show.
Oh, that one, where they give away all the money in the video.
Yeah, I do like that video. It's a good video.
Simple Plan, I'm Just a Kid.
Yeah, it's again Simple Plan being like, my life's bad and nobody likes me. My life's bad and nobody likes me. And I'm a kid and no one takes me seriously and I'm quite sad.
Oh.
Yeah, that was Simple Plan. They were very much appealing to the sad teenager crowd.
Emos, in fact.
Well, like, okay, these were like people in their 20s singing songs that basically were like purpose designed to be like, I, a 12-year-old, can empathise with this sadness.
Well, we were all 12-year-olds at one point.
Yeah.
Unless we died at 11. I made that much darker than I intended. So, Tetris 99, that is a really good remix of the Tetris theme.
Yeah,
I love it. And I love how it ramps up as you sort of go through.
I like all of the different variations of it as you get through.
Yeah, the final is not even like that track. It's a whole new bit.
Yeah, it's got a good soundtrack, that Tetris 99.
Yeah, which led me to listening to The Complete History of the Soviet Union Arranged the Melody of Tetris, which I think most people have heard at some point.
Yeah.
I guess it was big and memey whatever year that came out.
Yeah.
Postmodern Jukebox have a new track out.
Oh yeah, that was quite a cool one.
They did Pinky and the Brain theme.
With the voice actors.
G-Bang, what are we going to do tonight?
What? We're going to busk until we can take over the world.
Same thing we do every night, Pinky.
Yeah, it was good to see those two. I think one of their names is Rob Paulson.
His name was Robert Paulson. Oh my god!
What?
It's a Fight Club reference. Remember?
Meatloaf's
character.
Yes, my apologies. Yes. Yeah,
everyone remembers Snowflake, but no one remembers Robert Paulson.
But
they repeated it endlessly.
That was a good track. What Postmodern Jukebox did, they always do good tracks.
It was. So while you were out dancing, I was sitting around. Well, I was dancing around somebody's living room, listening to classic 90s dance tracks.
Yes, indeed you were.
With some classic 90s dance people. So I'm just going to rattle most of these off. They are proper classics. ATB, 9 p.m. Till I Come. Faithless Insomnia. That's such a good track. PPK, Resurrection. I think that's the one with all the pitch bends in it. When I was in high school, a friend of mine learned to play it on the guitar, just using like hammer-ons and pull-offs and stuff. And like, that was really impressive. And then someone was like, that's not played on a guitar, right? It's just like a keyboard with a pitch bend. But that's not the point. The point is he learned to play it. What we've mentioned before, Shaman, Ebenezer Goode. It's a good track. Rob Miles' Children. It's one you can sort of like it does remind you of sort of sitting in the back of a car and just going along the motorway on like a nice sunny day. Rob D, Club to Death, which was on the Matrix soundtrack, even though it's not in the film.
Yeah.
I think it was one of those inspired bys. With that, it's got like a clip of Elgar's Enigma variations in it. Scatman John, Scatman's World.
Oh, yeah.
Because wasn't that like... I think he learnt to do scat singing because of a stutter.
Yeah.
As someone else who has really suffered with a stutter in the past and occasionally suffers with it depending on how stressed I am now. It's It's nice to think that you can do something cool with that.
Yeah.
Snap, rhythm is a dancer. Another classic. Paul Van Dyke for An Angel. Baby D, Let Me Be Your Fantasy. 1993, good gravy. Olive, You're Not Alone. Salt and pepper, push it.
Push it real good.
Whamdoo Project, King of My Castle. Good stuff. Cincy Music Factory, Gonna Make You Sweat. I got the power. Pump Up the Jam, Technotronic. What else? Eiffel 65.
Oh.
Because you're blue.
Because I am blue. Dubba-dee, dubba-die.
Blue, dubba-dee.
Dubba head eye.
Dubba head eye. Dubba-dee, dubba head eye. Vega, Mambo number 5.
Ooh.
Shaft, Mambo Italiano. Bomb Funk MCs, the freestyle.
That's a good track.
It's a classic. Kadok, The Night Train. All aboard the Night Train. Know that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Darude, Sandstorm. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
Oh, never.
I don't think anyone on the internet's ever heard of Sandstorm, right?
Yeah, it's right up there with Rick Astley. No one's ever heard of that on the internet. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, look that up if you've never heard that. Never gonna look that up.
See, I hate to tell you this. The whole time you've been telling me this list, all that's been going through my head is, he's a good. He's ever he's a good.
Has anyone got any salmon? Lovely.
Oh, sorry. If you mention that, like any time in life you mention that track, good 20 minutes my brain's just going to be, he's a good. He's ever he's a good.
He's ever he's a good, isn't he?
Sorry, continue.
Alice DJ, Better Off Alone.
Yeah.
I've lost my split now. Safari Duo, Played Alive, the Bongo Song. Yolanda Be Cool and D-Cup, We No Speak Americano. And we finished with Stevie Wonder, Superstition, because
that sounds like...
apparently we gave up on dance music and was like, we're just going to wind down now.
That sounds like a heck of a set list.
It was good evening.
I listened to a lot of music that night, and I don't remember very much of what I heard.
Well, that didn't come with a track list, just a DJ. So
yeah, no, that was a lot of I like what I'm hearing. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, well, I'm sure in a couple of weeks.
I enjoyed the very pretty strobe lights that were happening that made it look like everything was moving at a weird frame rate that wasn't quite real.
We've got one of those downstairs.
Yeah, I know. I quite like strobe lights and the way they make it look like things are just, that's not the right speed that's moving. Paused. Yeah, exactly. So, is that everything we've listened to this week?
That is everything we've listened to this week.
Well, time for this.
Hi there, welcome back. We're resuming the show here with Susan. How you doing, Susan?
I'm okay. I'm still a little unsure as to why I've been invited here. I know that there was some surprise that my partner had for me, I think.
That's right. You and Janet, you've been together for a long time, right?
Yeah, we have. And things have been going really well, or so I thought. I'm a bit worried because I hear there might be a secret being revealed. I'm a bit worried about that.
Well, as you know, I'm sure you know the format of the show. We get people on here, we lull them into a false sense of security, and then we bring out a loved one, and boom! And then the audience goes crazy, and stuff happens, and people sometimes there's fighting.
I'm hoping that the fighting doesn't happen this time. Can you bring out my partner so I can find out what the secret is?
So you and Janet, you've been together for a while. Very happy together.
Yeah.
Very happy together. You love each other very much.
Yes.
You've always known who she is. You've always felt that you're very aware of who she is as a person.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody, let's bring out Janet. Well, now, Janet, you got a story to tell to your lady here. What's it gonna be? I just wanted to say, I love you very much, and I'm just so happy with our life together, and I hope that we continue being happy and in love forever because you mean the world to me, and I love you.
Ooh.
Harvey. There we go, people of all ages and genders. We have it here, right? No fighting this week, just pure unadulterated love. Tune in next week when we'll have my partner secretly wrestling pantomime horse.
So, hero, you've been caught in my lair, wrapped up tight in all of my many tentacled arms, no way to escape. Are you feeling the fear and terror yet, hero?
Yes, Daddy.
Sorry.
Squeeze me tighter.
Okay, I'm squeezing you tighter. Are you feeling the fear? Are you feeling the fear yet of being captured and restrained?
Tighter.
You're so far away that no one will ever hear your screams. You're that far away from help.
Oh no, I'll never be rescued.
What's going on? What's going on
I mean,
here?
this is hot, right? It's not just me. This is very sexy.
No, this is my evil plan to keep you captive, so that you cannot save the world.
I mean, like, they're probably fine on their own. This is fine. I'm good with this.
You're into this.
Yeah, I mean, you're sexy as hell.
I thought I was unlovable.
Oh, you're beautiful. And you're apparently very good at the whole dom thing.
This is a lot of emotions for me to process. Can I give you a hug?
Please.
With my many tentacles.
Please.
Well, I wrap this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and all of them around you. I think this might be a better way for us to spend our day.
And if there's anything I can do for you...
Well...
Question time! Stop for questions!
What's the questions?
Okay, Hydrob would like to know.
Hi, Hydrob. Hi.
What is your favourite outfit you currently own?
Ooh. I've got a dress that I really like. And it's that plain black one with the sort of like scrunched up middle section and the sort of like deepish neckline. Yeah, it's a dress that I bought like on the internet and wasn't convinced would work, but I really like it. I find that I can pair it with a lot of things and it looks really nice and it's just very flattering on me.
Yeah, it's very pretty and you look very pretty in it.
Oh, what about you?
I mean, I like that Zelda dress that I bought.
It's very good.
I'm impressed that it still fits despite the fact that I've put on a bit of weight since I bought it. And I thought I was going to be too fat for it when I bought it. What else? I'm trying to think. I like the white sort of hippie skirt.
Oh yeah,
and the white that pairs with the white top that I made.
The one covered in the eyes.
It's covered in like a palm tree made of googly eyes. Then it's got like neon swirls all over it and a tree on the back.
It's a wonderful summer outfit, that one.
Yeah, I originally made it for going raving because it's really good under UV.
Yeah.
But when you run up and down stairs in it, it sounds like one of those rain sticks.
Yeah. It's very cool.
Matthew Callahan would like to know, what was the first edition of D&D?
First one I played?
Yeah.
Honestly, fifth edition is the first one I really got into.
Yeah.
I tried my hands at other ones, like here and there. I played a little bit of third, but I never really stuck with them. Fifth edition is the first one where I went, oh, I like D&D.
Yeah, fifth is the one where I've actually sort of put any time into it and played any real games. I suppose if Baldur's Gate is based on a proper edition of D&D, then perhaps I guess I've played whatever version that was briefly.
Yeah. No,
I wasn't good at it.
Yeah. I played a bit of third edition. It wasn't for me. I waited till fifth.
I was just hanging out
till fifth edition rolls around. Forget four. Four's not going to be any good. I'm waiting for 5.
Is it like even numbers, odd number Star Treks?
Yeah, something like that.
Kel Goodall would like to know, what's your favourite video game to play while you're bedridden?
Ooh. Oh, that's the question. I like a big world that I can just get lost in for a long time. Like, if I'm ill and bedridden, I like a big JRPG I can get stuck into. Like, I was really ill when I played through Final Fantasy 13, and I really enjoyed that as a good game to just, like, I just gotta play an RPG for, like, 50 hours till I'm better. What about you?
I think the one I've played most while sick is probably Wind Waker.
Yeah.
I can't think what else I play. Day of the Tentacle is just one I play a lot anyway.
Yeah.
It's just really comforting, and you can get through it in an hour or so.
I think the reason I like turn-based RPGs so much when I'm ill is it means if I fall asleep while playing because I'm ill...
It'll just pause.
It'll just, like, pause. Nothing's gonna happen while I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
While I'm having my illness nap.
I'm having a sick nap. Lucian Evans would like to know, if you're reading anything, what scribbling are you translating into your electrified headbeats?
I don't think I've been reading any books recently.
We started reading, we talked about it last week. Adventure Zone.
Oh yeah. That's sort of it's a graphic novel, maybe more than a book.
It just says reading.
Reading. The Adventure Zone graphic novel. I will probably be going back to the Umbrella Academy comics at some point soon because I've got a taste for it again. So
I'm reading through the Squirrel Girl comic books. The one I'm sort of kind of looking forward to going back to again is I've mentioned it a few times on this show. Is Snorri Christensen's Valhalla Saga.
Yeah,
because there's a new one coming out soon. So I not from that series. It's from the series that he did after that. But
Another Snorri book.
I want to go back through the original saga because they're really cool.
Yeah.
Becky Two Hill would like to know, what's your biggest waste / loss of money you've had?
Ooh. Have you got an answer for this?
I do. I'm not sure I want to say it on air.
Yeah. What answer do I have to this that I want to share?
That I feel comfortable sharing with the world.
Yeah.
There was a communal £350 in my flat in some form when I was living in a certain flat with a certain group of people, and they decided that they wanted to go to Amsterdam for a weekend with some friends. So they basically took the quote-unquote community. It was mine. I put the money in.
Yeah.
They basically ran off with that cash and went to Amsterdam. And the one thing I asked was, will you bring me back some porn? And they couldn't even bring me back any porn because they were too embarrassed to go into the shop.
So that's someone else wasted your money on your behalf.
Yeah, does that count?
I think it can count.
That's the one I'm less embarrassed by.
I don't feel like I have an answer that I want to share. Next question.
I love that we're really upfront about, like...
Oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna, like...
sex and things we've done in our lives and kinks and stuff. But when it comes to, what's the thing you fucked up money-wise the most?
I'm like, no, I don't want to admit to fucking up money. I'm embarrassed about times I fucked up money.
Tricky would like to know, what if you could smack two or more franchises together to create a new IP a la Kingdom Hearts, what would you pick and how would it end up?
Oh. Pokemon and Breath of the Wild.
Ooh.
Give me a big open world Pokemon game that's like involves a lot of challenging like traversal of the environment, but also there are monsters that I can go catch and then do battles.
Fuck me, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, no, just like give me Pokemon in the Breath of the Wild engine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Want that, please?
Yeah, what about you? What's your answer?
Oh god.
I'm now just imagining fighting Ganon using my Charizard. It's like, oh, Ganon, you may have the Triforce of Power. However, I have a Mewtwo. And, like, you know, it's fucking Mewtwo.
What you got?
What you got?
I think I just want that now. all other thoughts have gone from my head.
Well, let's go with that.
I don't even like Pokemon that much, and I want to play that game.
Okay, let's go with that. What's the next question?
Ian Burnham, any alternatives to corn that don't taste of earth? I don't know what you're doing to corn that made it taste of earth.
I don't think the corn tastes of earth, but do you want to take the lead on this?
Yeah, I mean, all of these things really depend how you cook them.
Yeah, like
I know corn mince isn't to everyone's taste, but like with tofu, like you can make it taste of anything. If you're a decent cooker, you've got the right like herbs and spices. If you're willing to put a little time to marinate something, or not, you don't even need to marinate stuff for that long.
Well, we'll sometimes do like soy chunks that are like soaked for half an hour in.
Not even that, like 10 minutes.
Yeah, just like give them a good soak in stock so that they get like really, really soft. You know, maybe marinate them in some.
I usually put some herbs and spices, a bit of garlic in there,
maybe a bit of hoisin or something on them.
Yeah, a bit of hoisin, but a bit of like if you want a smoky flavour, you can add liquid smoke to them.
Basically, just like mix up some nice flavourful liquid to soak these things in or to baste these things in, and they'll usually turn out pretty alright.
Yeah. And then when you're cooking them, obviously make sure they go in with something. If you soy chunks, another really great one and really way to make them taste nice and just like have a beautiful texture is like stick them in a stew.
Yeah, like a nice slow cook on some soy chunks.
Mm-hmm.
Gets that texture good and it soaks up that flavour.
Yeah, because sticking them just in hot water doesn't seem to work quite as well as like keeping them constantly like bubbling in that.
Yeah,
and it does something really different to them. But yeah, any of these things you can make it taste of anything. Just
go slightly out of your way to flavour it.
Yeah, like don't expect anything's going to taste amazing on its own. Yeah. On the other hand, fries chicken nuggets taste freaking amazing.
Yeah, Linda McCartney sausages.
The soy mince we got, or vegan mince we got from Sainsbury's.
Oh, that one that was in the packet that looks like actual mince.
Yeah, that stuff was brilliant.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Yeah, there's loads of meat alternatives, like the Iceland's Noble range.
Yeah, the Noble range is like really good and flavourful.
Like the chicken in that's really good. The chorizo, the
paella.
Yeah, the paella we've had is really good in there. Yeah, there's so many options. Like,
there's good stuff out there.
Corn, and corn is not even the best one. A lot of the fries products are really great.
Yeah.
Bit expensive some, but like you can do like vegan and veggie stuff cheaply if you're willing to make it yourself rather than buying like the bacons and stuff.
Buy some freeze-dried soy chunks and soy mince and flavour them yourself as you're adding water to them.
Flavour the crap out of them.
Yeah.
Jacob Marion would like to know, what's something that you didn't think you'd like at the start but wound up loving by the end? Anal.
Yeah, well that's... I guess that is an answer, huh? I don't know if I've got a good answer to this. Oh, we mentioned it earlier. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Wasn't sold on that. First couple of episodes, I was like, this is just really childish thing, like kids show of the week. I'm not sold. And it ended up becoming one of my favourite shows of all time because persevering with it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else like that.
Steven Universe was a bit like that for me, honestly.
See, the thing with me with Steven Universe is I got into it because I think I heard like 3 or 4 different podcasters mention it in the course of about a month.
Yeah.
It's like, I have to watch this, and it was halfway through season 2.
I had the situation where I tried watching it when it first started airing, and it just wasn't grabbing me, and I stopped. And then someone said, just watch the season 1 finale, and if you're not sold, I won't try and push the show on you anymore. So I watched the whole Garnet Stronger Than You finale on the ship, and was like, oh, okay, this show has legs. I will watch the light-hearted kids show that now that I know it's going somewhere.
Yeah.
It's the same problem I kind of had with Adventure Time.
Adventure Time is really hard to get going.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what it was about those first few seasons that I think I did what I was doing a lot with at that time. I had Adventure Time on this TV sat next to me, just off to my right, and I had like another TV that was playing video games on straight ahead of me. I probably wasn't paying a huge amount of attention, but I was like, I like how weird this is. I like that stuff about it. And then by the time I got to sort of like later series after Penn had left.
Yeah.
And they were, like, more keen to get, like, an overarching narrative going.
Yeah.
And pull threads together that really pay off by the end.
Yeah.
Like, there is a reason I cried at the finale of Adventure Time.
Yeah.
And looking at the first, or at least the first half of the first series, it's really hard to see where it managed to generate that for me.
Yeah. I think that answers that question.
I guess, there you go then, Adventure Time.
Yeah, what are we got any other questions?
That is all the questions.
Well then.
Do you know what I want to see more of?
What do you want to see more of?
Justice Warriors!
Special Justice Warriors.
Hello, Larry.
Hello, Barry. How are you doing?
I'm not too bad, mate. Hey.
I'm good. I've been having a nice week this week. Actually, I've been taking some time off, catching up on some telly. I started watching that the Dragon Prince.
Oh right, yeah. Seen any of that.
It's a good show. But like you'll be thinking about a thing because that show's got some good stuff going on with representation. You got a very well capable character who uses sign language to communicate, for example.
Oh, nice.
It just got me thinking about the whole. Representation, that's a good thing in media, isn't it?
Well, absolutely. People need to be able to identify with the people they see in the world around them, and the more they see people who are like them, the more they feel like they can fit in. They have something to relate to, and things to aim for.
I think one thing that's really important in conversations about representation in media is that we get different kinds of representation as well. Like,
no one can speak for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's good when you have stories about, a person from a minority background who, is just living their life and it's just a story about their life. That's a very good type of representation.
Yeah.
Equally, superhero fantasy, for example, where, someone gets to see someone that's like them up on the big screen getting to do all the cool things. Sure, it might not apply to their everyday life, but it gives them something to aspire to. It makes them feel like, they can be important, they can be cool, they can be, special. And both of those have equally important roles to play, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, there was some tweets going around a while ago talking about, how black kids were, really heartened by looking at the Black Panther when that came out, and how, that was just, for some of them, that was the first time they'd seen a hero and B a good black character that was it was about them. They weren't a side character. They weren't anyone's sidekick.
Yeah. Like I know someone who is a trans person, and they ended up the emphasis for them transitioning was they saw a piece of media that was tasteful and respectful towards trans people and made them realise, there's a future there. It's not just being a punchline. Sometimes it just takes seeing someone like you not be made a mockery of to feel, better about your own identity.
Yeah, and I think the new She-Ra Princesses of Power series did quite a good thing. There are a lot of different types of strong women in that series. There are nerdy girls. There are more muscular girls. There are more curvy girls.
Yeah.
And that is a chance for it's intersectional as well, which helps.
Yeah.
There's lots of different types of people. I think there's people of different races in there, and that's good to see. It gives people a chance to see people who are like them. And I know that this has been a thing recently, less so in media, but I know there have been a whole lot of petitions to Playmobil to get more disabled figures in there.
Yeah.
Because people need to be able to see themselves represented in not just the things they watch, in the way they play as well.
Yeah. There are some companies out there that do exist that do specialised dolls that work with disability related props and whatnot, so that children can have a doll that presents is more like them, makes them feel a little less alone. It's
absolutely.
It's just really important for people to be able to look and go, that person is like me and they're doing all right. Also, while we're on the topic, straight white male has been the default for far too, disproportionately so for far too long.
And this is why I've been really liking recently. We've had superheroes of colour. We've had more women as superheroes. We've seen lots of different varieties of
people that young people can aspire to. And I remember when I was a kid, it was all straight white males everywhere, and it's so nice to see more people of colour, more gender diversity, and I hope we start to see some like non-binary people coming out, because that is criminally underrepresented.
Well, like, the example I'm thinking of is that hot new battle royale at the moment, not Tetris 99, the other one, Apex Legends. I believe is more than 50% of its playable characters are female.
Nice.
More than 50% of its playable characters are not white people.
Double nice.
Yeah, exactly. And they got quite a few gay people in there. It's a case of... And that hasn't stopped that game being like the biggest thing in gaming right now.
No, I mean, I've heard a little bit of bitching, but that is the internet.
Oh, yeah, but like, it hasn't stopped... It's getting more Twitch viewers right now than fucking Fortnite.
Wow.
Yeah, like, it's gone proper big, and like, you make a good thing, people will still engage with it, even if it's got the women's and stuff in it.
Yeah, and I think as we've learned from the Star Wars controversy, like, you can say, it's been people have been saying, it's all social justice now, and it's all representation and or quote-unquote forced representation and so forth, and that it's not what Star Wars has been about, but it is the most popular ever, and it has a more diverse fan base than ever. So just because you're, some entitled fanboy that feels that it should always be about you, I hope that the people making the media are seeing more that actually it's about everyone, and we need to include everyone, and we need to make sure everyone feels representative.
Yeah.
Represented.
That's the one. That was
the one. Yeah.
So we have that argue. We always have.
Yeah.
Just go have a go.
Oh, screwed up, mate. Definitely just the thing after this week. Yeah. I do look forward to our hugs.
It's a nice part of our chats every week.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Shall I pop the kettle on?
Yeah, pop the kettle on, have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
In a land of cream pleasant strangers.
In a land of cream pleasant strangers, yeah.
Laura!
Yeah.
Where can we find you on the internet, darling?
Laura K Buzz pretty much everywhere. Laura K Buzz on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. You can find me. You can find me Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 at kotaku.co.uk. I've been doing a series of interview articles based on different parts of the UK that develop video games. Currently, you can go see my Leamington Spa write-ups. My Guildford ones will all be up by now. I've got multiple interviews with Peter Molyneux that went up recently. That's all the things that happened. Other than that, I'm on Dice Funk. It's a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons real play podcast. I'm on seasons 3, 4, and 5. They're all self-contained stories. And I've got 2 books, Uncomfortable Labels, which is coming out in July, and Things I Learned from Mario's Butt, which we're doing the art for now. It's looking good. Many pretty pictures. What about you? Where are you on the internet?
I can be found as Maniac Janiac on Twitter and YouTube, on SoundCloud.com as Janius Magnet, where you might be listening to this now. I'm on Twitch.tv/Janiac about 19:45 every Thursday UK time. I can be found streaming something or other. Last week we had a bit of fun together with Becky Tuhill, actually.
We did have a bit of fun together.
We did. We had a threesome and played some Jackbox Party Pack. The VOD of that is up on YouTube, and we might try that again. Yeah. Also, StoneMonkeyRadio.blog, where I put all sorts of random reviews and stuff up. I can also be found on Badly Designated Heroes. I've got on Curiosity Epidemic on YouTube and Spotify now, I believe. Yeah, and you can find us and find out all of our cool stuff. And we're also on SoundCloud.
YouTube?
No, it is SoundCloud.
Oh yeah, SoundCloud.
We're in so many places for different podcasts.
Too many places for too
this
many
podcast,
things.
some places. That podcast, different places. I keep fucking up the times of when they're supposed to be uploaded. But yeah, that's a Real Play D&D podcast. It's not quite Dice Funk, but we have our own adventures. There's a lot of rats.
There's a lot of rats.
My character's got a dog now.
Yeah,
Doggo. Because that's all the name the doggo needed. And I'm also on this show, Current Pleasant Strangers, which I do with you. You don't need 2 episodes here, because you're already listening to it.
Unless you've tuned into just the last few minutes, in which case there's a podcast. Rewind a bit.
Rewind. So, sing us out, darling.
Until next time, be a stranger.
Bye.